I got kicked out of home. Woo! Okay, yeah, I got kicked out of home. Yeah, but that's not the story I'm telling today. No, that's for another day, you know? So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get a notification every time I drop a new video, because you never know when I'm gonna just pounce on you with that story of how your girl got kicked out of home. It is, you don't wanna miss it. Yeah. One of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel was to really just provide information and like help people in any way that I can from my experiences, because I was really just thrust into the world. Like, it literally happened overnight, and I literally had to learn how to function as an independent person without family, like real quick. And so I just want to share my experience, and this video is kind of like a survival guide. So if you're planning on leaving home, these are the things that I think you should consider before you make that decision. And people leave home for different reasons. You either get kicked out, or you just feel like it's a toxic environment for you and you want to leave and just be your own person and just be on your own. And so these are the things that I think you really need to sit down and say, hey, do I have these things? Can I manage? And yeah, so let's get to the video. The first thing you want to think about when planning to leave home is, where are you going to stay? I remember when I was in high school, my friend Arushka and I would be like, oh my god, we're gonna leave home, we're gonna stay in an apartment in Umhlanga, have a little dog, oh, the life, we're just gonna be those girls. But that is not the reality, especially if you're leaving home by yourself and you don't have your parents to help you out with rent and stuff like that. That is not the reality. And for me, if you're young and you're deciding to leave home, I suggest student accommodation. Whether you're studying or you're working, I feel like student accommodation is just the best bet, because the landlord is somewhat responsible for you and has somewhat control over what's going on, and it's just a safer environment. And you're just around people your own age, so you're not completely like isolated and like depressed and lonely and stuff like that. Excuse me. Also, in terms of accommodation, the minimum amount of money you've got to have per month for rent, and this is just my own research in places that I wanted to stay, is 2,500 rand. In terms of like a decent room, kitchen, bathroom, security as well, you've got to, it's the minimum you're going to pay is 2,500 rand. And so you've got to also think like, oh my god, can I afford that? Especially if you're doing this by yourself. Yeah. And another thing in terms of accommodation is that you've got to normalize the idea of sharing the room with somebody. Hence I said student accommodation, because you don't want to just be sharing with some bum. Not saying that the other roommate can't be a bum, but I'm just saying that it's just your safest bet, and for you to feel the most comfortable. It'll be nice being with a girl who is around your age, and you guys can share similar interests and stuff like that. So that is really important, and also really safe. Like, you don't want to be sharing with some random, if you get what I'm saying. Living for yourself, by yourself. Living by yourself means that you're responsible for yourself and that you have to buy your own groceries. And groceries are expensive, and I never knew this until the first time I went grocery shopping for myself, and I had like 1,000 rand, I think, that I allocated. I was like, I'm gonna buy groceries. Actually, I said groceries, I said 1,000 rand is too much for groceries for one person, right? Wrong. It is I think 1,000 rand is just right, but if you're being really cautious with what you're taking and only taking the essentials, you've got to have at least, I think, 800 rand, not I think, I know, 800 rand set aside for groceries for the month. I think at some point I was like, I can't do this. I was living on pasta and noodles, but I love noodles, but I was living on noodles. And also my friend introduced me to Streetwise 1 there by KFC, and for 21 rand or 22 rand, most of my meals. Is That's where I was getting most of my meals, because I was like, no, I'll just buy when I'm hungry, and I just spent it at 21 rand or 22 rand because I could not get myself to go to the store and pick all those items, pick 3 items, and it comes to like 500 rand. Like, what's going on here? So you gotta think about that. Can you afford them groceries, girl? Internet boy like groceries. Oh, how it's supposed to be. Remember that song? That was a jam. The next thing you gotta think about is transportation. Yes, there's Uber, but Uber really adds up. I mean, think about it. You already spent 2,500 rand in your rent minimum. Like, we don't even know. It could be more than that, but I'm just saying. You spent that. You spent 800 rand on groceries, and now what do you think? Every day Uber is going to be, it's going to be fine. No, it adds up. And when I was at home, we had a driver, and I would just jump in the car and go wherever I needed to go. And so now I'm out of home by myself, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I must take public transport. Like, me, like, I'm Tando. But the world will humble you. The universe will humble you. God will humble you and say, hi, baby, come back down here. Yeah. And yeah, my friend came over, Anna, and she taught me how to take public transportation. It's not that bad, but I won't like recommend it. I'm not like a fan, but if you need to get where you need to get, you need to get there. What? You just need to get there, and you gotta do what you have to do. And so she told me how to take public transportation, and that's how I got around for a very, very long time. Thank God my boyfriend came and saved me, and now we just, cruising lane to lane. But I'm so grateful for it, and I'll never take that for granted again. Those are the 3 most important things that you should consider, or I think you should consider when planning to leave home. But there's so much more that comes with that. Like, because you're alone now and there's nobody policing you, there's just a whole lot of temptation just around, lurking in every corner. And because you're your own boss, you've just got to remember those lessons and those lectures that, you'd get at home and you'd just be rolling your eyes. And you've really got to, like, remember those and apply it yourself now, and be your own boss and be like, hey Tanda, you can't do that because so and so. And it's really difficult, and at first you just know what, like, I ain't got nobody to answer to, yeah. But just for survival in the long run, you've just gotta keep those rules. I remember my boyfriend told me, I don't know what it was, I can't even remember what we were talking about, and he was like, would you do that at home? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, just because you're out of home doesn't mean you just need to run wild. And I was like, okay sir, why are you fighting? But it really does make sense. Like, you really need to take those things, those values, those good values that you learned at home, and apply it to yourself, because now this is your home and you've got to set the rules. You are your own boss. And for me, one of the greatest things that's come from leaving home is just personal growth, in terms of and personal growth and just becoming my own person, because now I'm not like living by anybody else's rules or doing things that I felt I need to do. And I just I felt like I've really come into myself as a person, and I don't know, I also feel like it was necessary. Like I said in my very first video, I took a lot of things for granted, and I think that leaving home, getting kicked out of home, was so necessary for my personal growth. I feel like I'm so much more caring, I'm so much more grateful, I'm so much more loving, I'm so much more thoughtful, even though I'm not the most thoughtful person. But those are things that I feel have really improved in myself since leaving home. And I really don't regret anything, because I'm genuinely so happy and genuinely in such a good space with myself. My self-esteem has like skyrocketed. Like, I used to have such a low self-esteem, and like that's not me anymore, clearly, because look at me. And like 4 years ago, I would never have said that. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned it, but I think in September would be 2 years since leaving home. So I look back and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of how far I've come, and I feel like sometimes we don't really give each other or give ourselves enough credit for things we've done and things we've survived. And it was really horrible at first, but you need to have a support system. Yes, you might not have family, you might not be living at home, but you really need to have supportive friends and family that you can talk to, and that you just a shoulder to cry, because it does get emotional and it does get lonely, and you sit there and you think about everything, and oh my god, I'm just rambling. I got some of my feels, but you've just that's also very important, just to have a support system and people that really are by your side. And for me, that was my friend Anna. She literally came from her dad's funeral and came and saved me. I cannot wait to tell you guys all the stories, but she really helped me establish myself outside of home, and I would forever be grateful to her for that. The reason I wanted to do this video is because the whole thing was a really traumatic experience for me, and I just wanted to create like a survival guide of people planning on leaving home, and just so that you know what you're getting yourself into, because I did not know. And the whole point of this is just to help people, you know, and I hope that it's helped you in some way. If you have your stories of leaving home or your experiences, please comment that down below. If you know of any plugs for accommodation and this and that, please let us know down below. I'm sure we'd be helping somebody, and that's what I'm here to do, and you should be too. Yeah, so don't forget to like this video, comment the plugs, and subscribe, and please share this video. And yeah, I'll see you. I hope you enjoyed this video also. Why didn't you? And if you didn't, tell me why. Yeah, tell me why you didn't enjoy this video. Let's be honest with each other. Let's go. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. So bye.